Peak Inequality, the 0.01% and the Impoverishment of Society, Part 1, written by David DeGraw. The Economics of Revolution. The Declaration of Independence. Quote, when in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. Unquote. An extensive analysis of economic conditions and government policy reveals that the need for significant systematic change is now a mathematical fact. Corruption, greed, and economic inequality have reached a peak tipping point. Due to the consolidation of wealth, the majority of the population cannot generate enough income to keep up with the cost of living. In the present economy, under current government policy, 70% of the population is now sentenced to an impoverished existence. Part 1. The ultra-rich 0.01%. Quote, there is no such thing as the liberty or effective power of an individual, group, or class, except in relation to the liberties, the effective powers of other individuals, groups, or classes. Unquote. John Dewey, Liberty and Social Control. To see how corrupt the United States government has become, just follow the money. According to the most recent Federal Reserve Flow of Funds report, U.S. households currently have an all-time high, $82 trillion in overall wealth. If that wealth were spread out evenly, every U.S. household would now have $712,000. However, as of the end of 2013, the median household only has $56,000 in wealth. From 2007 to 2013, overall wealth increased 26%, while the median household lost a shocking 43% of their wealth. If median wealth continues to decline at this rate, over 50% of U.S. households will be bankrupt within the next decade. The fact that the majority of households are losing so much wealth in a time of record-breaking overall wealth demonstrates how systematically corrupt the economy has become. To begin to grasp the scale of corruption, let's analyze how much wealth has been consolidated within the economic top 1% of the population. The latest comprehensive look at wealth distribution data reveals that the ultra-rich economic top 0.01% of U.S. households now has an all-time high 11.1% of overall wealth. The next tier, the 99.9% to the 99.99%, has 10.4%, and the top 99% to the 99.9% has 18.3%. In total, the top 1% now has an all-time high 39.8% of wealth. When we correlate wealth distribution percentages with the $82 trillion in overall wealth reported by the Federal Reserve, it reveals that the top 0.01% has a stunning $9.1 trillion in wealth. In total, the top 1% has a mind-blowing $32.6 trillion. Having that much wealth consolidated within a mere 1% of the population, while a record number of people toil in poverty and debt, is a crime against humanity. For example, it would only cost 0.5% of the 1%'s wealth to eliminate poverty nationwide. Also consider that at least 40% of the 1%'s accounted for wealth is sitting idle. That's an astounding $13 trillion in wealth hoarded away, unused. Once you truly realize how much $32.6 trillion is, and realize how just a fraction of that wealth could dramatically evolve society for the benefit of all, the argument for significant systematic change is solid. However, as scandalous as these statistics are, they do not factor in trillions of dollars more in unaccounted for offshore wealth, which makes the overall situation sound significantly better than it actually is, and hides the true depth of the crisis from popular consciousness. Looking toward the future, current trends reveal that the rate in which inequality is growing is increasing rapidly. Overall wealth has increased by $1.5 trillion in the first quarter of 2014. If wealth keeps increasing at the current rate, there will be an increase of $6 trillion in 2014. How will this wealth be distributed? If you look at income gains since 2009, 95% of them have gone to the top 1%. We earn a 99.99%. There are now many people within the top 1% who are much closer in wealth to the middle class than they are the ultra-rich. Greed has grown so extreme that even within the top 1%, inequality is soaring. The top 1% of the 1%, the 0.01%, now has 28% of the 1%'s wealth. When you factor in hidden wealth, they have an estimated 33% of the 1%'s wealth. An individual must have over $100 million in wealth to be in the 0.01%. As the ultra-rich, 0.01%, amasses unprecedented wealth, they are forcing the overwhelming majority of the population into extreme economic insecurity and ever-increasing debt.